A very good morning to all of you and welcome back to our channel The Teacher. This is Rajiv, and in this tutorial I will show you that how you can combine 3D shapes with 2D elements to create these kind of animated scenes in PowerPoint 2016. And if you are a good graphic designer, then I think that you can create a lot of good animations in PowerPoint 2016. So before I dig into the tutorial, let me show you the animations that I have used in this presentation. So for that I go to the animations tab and then click animation pan, and here you can see that I have applied only 2 animations for this presentation. One is on the boat and one is on the shadow of the boat, this one. So the important thing about this presentation is not the animations that I am using here, but how you can use different elements to create these kind of scenes. So the boat that you are seeing here is a 3D shape which you can insert using the insert tab, then click on 3D models and then use from online sources. But remember one thing, that you will only able to see this 3D model option in your PowerPoint 2016 if you have Office 365 subscription, and after clicking this you will see a lot of predefined 3D shapes that are available in online library. So here I will find for boat and hit the enter key. And here you have different kinds of 3D boards that you can use inside your presentation. So I am using this one, and you can go for any one, and even you can rotate the 3D shapes later on. So I will click this one and click insert, and that will bring that 3D shape into your presentation. So once you have this 3D shape inside your presentation, you can move it anywhere, and then you can use these rotation option to set the position as you like. So after setting the position, you can go for animations by clicking on the animations tab, and here you will see these new animations that can only be applied to a 3D shape. So if you select a 2D element inside your presentation, then you will see that those animations will get disappeared. So you have to remember that these animations, 3D animations, are only possible if you have Office 365 subscription and only if you have inserted a 3D shape. You can also see these animations here in the add animation drop down button, and here on the top you will see the same animations. And for this presentation I had applied the turntable effect. Click that effect, set it to play with previous, and I am using a duration of 2.50 seconds. Open the effect option window by double clicking on it and set it to down, and I am using a rotation angle of 5 degree with auto reverse, and I want to repeat this effect until end of the slide. Hit the OK key. Let me show you the slideshow. And the shadow has been drawn using the shape tool, this one. And for the shadow, let me duplicate this one and remove the effect of this shadow. So for the shadow I am using the grow shrink effect. Set it to play with previous with the same duration of 2.50 seconds. Open the effect option window, and I am using 110% grow shrink rate with the auto reverse without any smoothness, and in the timing tab set it to repeat until end of the slide. So let me put this boat here and this shadow right here. Now send this shadow to the back of the boat by going to the format tab and then use send backward command, and you can reduce the size by holding Ctrl Alt and Shift keys. Now let's see the slideshow. So one more important thing that I would like to tell you about this presentation is that how you can draw these 2D elements using the shape tools. So if I select this one and go to the format tab and then use group ungroup command, and at the same time I am going to open the selection pane, and here you can see that how many objects has been drawn to create this port here. So I mostly use freeform shape tool to draw these kind of shape, and let me tell you about this as well. And for that I go to the insert tab, click shapes drop down button, and here you will see this freeform shape right here as well. And clicking this shape, so this shape tool, this freeform shape tool works in two manners. If you hold down your left mouse click and then start drawing, then it will work like a pencil, and it will not close until you double click. Now I am going to delete it, and let me show you once more. I am going to use freeform again, and if you hold down your left mouse click, then it will work like a pencil, and you will not be able to leave it until you double click your left mouse button. And if you now use the fill color command, then it will look like this. So it is important to close the nodes of a freeform shape. Like, let me tell you once more, like I am going to draw a shape like that, and let me close this back to the starting node, and this way it will fill the color like that. And let me show you again this one, and you can see the difference that if you do not close the nodes, then the fill color behave in a different manner. So the next thing about the freeform shape is you can also use it like, if I click here once, the left mouse click, once click here, then click here, then it will behave in this manner. And then later you can close these nodes to create a full shape with a fill color. So the fill color only works better if you close the nodes. And later you can use edit shape from the format tab, and then click on edit points to change the points of this shape. For example, I want to move this node here, right here, and you can even add more nodes by just holding it right from here and then just drag it inside or outside. Then it will automatically add a new node. Or you can also right click on a specific point and then use add point to create a new node at the particular point, and then you can drag and drop it as well. And if you want to remove a node, then just right click on that node and then use delete point. You can also disconnect the nodes by right clicking on a particular node and then use open path. That way it will make them separate. So if you don't have a fill color, then they will look like separate nodes. So the another thing that I would like to tell you about the freeform tool is when you start drawing a shape using the freeform tool, like I'm going to left click here, then move my mouse right here, and then click here, then click here. For example, let's say if you have clicked at a wrong place and you want to remove that node here without losing the freeform shape, then you can just press backspace to start deleting the nodes in the backward manner. So it is very important when using shape tool, freeform shape tool, by mistake if you have clicked at a wrong point, then you can just press backspace to delete that particular node. So the port that you are seeing behind mostly has the straight lines, but in freeform shape tool you can also use the curved lines. For example, like I have drawn this line here using the shape tool, freeform shape tool. Then later you can go to the edit shape and then click edit point, and if you want to make a curve in between both of these points, then you can just select this point here and then start dragging it like that, and this way you can make a curved line. So I hope you will like this tutorial. Let me know by leaving your valuable